Today's topic is how to engage your audience. So, the past few weeks, we've gone over how to set up your streams. We've gone over different platforms to use. We've gone over how to troubleshoot any issues you run into. But of course, once you're live, you have to engage with your audience. And so, today we've got some quick and easy tips on how to do that with Switcher Studio, best practices, ways to use the features in the app for that engagement. And then after we go over those, as Dan said, we're going to go into the comment section, and any comments you guys have, we'll be happy to answer. So it can be pertaining to engaging an audience. If you have a quick question on another topic, you can put that in there as well, and we'll be happy to answer it also. And if it's a bit more intensive, more troubleshooting's needed, be sure to email us at support@switcherstudio.com, and we'll be happy to interact with you there as well.
Yeah, and that's great. So we've already done a couple of these. We're trying to be better about it ourselves. These are things that we've come up with as well. The first thing, of course, being adding lower thirds to your thing, and you can do things such as ask for comments. That's the whole reason we're live right now, is hearing those. So Angela, you want to talk a little bit more about these?
Sure. So when most people hear lower thirds, they think just, the titles for the guests on the show. And of course, you saw that with us earlier. Dan and I each had a lower third showing our name. It's a great way to help your audience know who you're talking to and to help them get to know you as well. But you can also use lower thirds for many other things. So for instance, we have the lower third right now to ask Switcher Studio questions in the comments. You can have a lot of on-screen engagement that way to kind of guide your users, let them know what's going on. A lot of times we also see lower thirds used to introduce segments of a show. So if your show has different individual segments that you do each time, you can tee up each one like that. Also, you might put the topic you're discussing down there. So if you've got especially more of like a news show going on, you can have the title of that particular news piece appear at the bottom, just like, you would see on a cable television news show. There's my lower third right there. Yay! So you can see Dan just took off the ask questions one. He put up mine. Now we're advertising our website. So there's a bunch of different ways to use lower thirds. Now, of course, if you have an image set already created or you feel like creating your own, you can always make these in any photo editing software as long as you can save it as a transparent PNG file. And then you can import that into Switcher Studio through many different methods like Switcher Cloud, Google Drive, even your Photos app. But it's quick and easy to get started with our feature inside the app itself. So you can create these on the fly. You don't have to make anything in advance and import it. You can do it right from the app itself. And I think Dan has
Want to show them
a
how to do
shot of
that?
an iPad. There we
Oops.
go. Yeah.
Let me put you up there as well, Angela.
Yay! So this, of course, when you first open Switcher Studio on an iPad and you sign in as your main device, this is the first thing you see. You're going to see the sources window, the live window, which shows what your audience is seeing, and the outputs that shows where you're live. But at the very bottom of the sources panel, so this is the panel on the left-hand side, you have that nice little circle, that blue circle with a plus sign. You can tap on that, and that's going to open your assets display. So this is how you would import different things. You can see you can import a photo from this iPad, a video from this iPad. If you want to connect a camera for an input, Switcher Cloud. But you also have options for text and graphics, and that way you can make, your own lower thirds on the fly. So we're going to go ahead and tap on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one? I was looking at something else, Angela. I was not paying attention at all. What do you need to tap on?
We're going to tap on text and graphics and show what's in there. I was like, oh no, did it freeze?
Sorry, guys. It's early today. We're earlier than we're normally used to.
It is. We normally do this at like 3 o'clock. So, yeah, we've got a bunch of different options. So, for instance, we've got titles, which allows you to create a full screen graphic. There's some examples right there. And these are all fully customizable. So you can change the text, the font, the size, the color, everything like that to really make it your own. You don't have to stick with just, the presets that we had. A lot of these that have an overlay, you can also change the opacity so you can make it, brighter. You can make it dimmer. You can change the tint of it. So instead of that kind of foggy gray, you could do a blue or a purple or a green. This one at the bottom is a really fun one. You can show what's going to be your topics of the day. So when you tap on that, your audience will see what you'll be talking about, and you can edit each individual topic. So you could start your show and say, we've got some great topics for you today. Have this up on the screen, and that way your audience knows from the start what you're going to be discussing. And instead of just hearing it, they can see this cool, overlay for it. And right now, Dan's putting up some of the topics we've got for you guys today so we can show you how this looks in action. So,
Yeah.
quick and easy. Look how easy and fast that was. So again, you don't have to do a ton of prep work in advance for images. I know a lot of first-time Switcher Studio users do not have any graphic design experience as well, and they're kind of, intimidated by how would I do this. And that's why we have these features in the app, so really anyone can get started right off the bat. Another option that we can do if we go back into that assets panel, which again is done by tapping that blue circle at the bottom of sources, we can go into text and graphics, and then we have an option for the lower thirds. So this is how you can also create lower thirds on the fly. Just like the ones you've seen us use. These are fully customizable. So again, you can change the position, the size, the color, the text, everything like that to really make it your own. These also animate. So anything you guys import on your own is that static PNG. It's just the image. But when you use the ones we have in here, you do have that animation. So it gives you that nice little pizzazz going on as well that a ton of our users love. And again, you can do this even while you're live. So if you think of something, you're like, oh, I need to show this in a couple of minutes, you can quickly make a lower third and have it ready to go. You don't have to worry about running to a computer and designing something while you're live. And Dan's showing just how easy it is to, change the color, save the color, really make this your brand. It doesn't have to look the way it started. And you can put this on the screen as well. Two other things I want to show you guys with this is, as you just saw, you can stack these. So if you have a full screen graphic, of course, you can only have one full screen at a time. But for any lower thirds, social overlays, even images you import yourself that are lower thirds or logos, you can have multiple ones on the screen. So we'll see people have this, banner at the bottom. They'll have their logo in the top corner. They'll have an advertisement pop up in the middle of the screen. You can stack those as well. So you can have as many as you want. And because of that, some users wonder how to remove them. So you tap them to add them, you tap them to remove them. It's not a thing where you tap one and the second you tap another, the first one's gone. You have to tap to remove because they do stack. So do keep that in mind. The more you tap, the more you're going to see, and you have to manually remove those as well. That's another question we get from a lot of first-time users where they wonder, is that supposed to happen? Yes, it is. You tap to remove those lower thirds and graphics as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, and get creative with these. Make sure, like I had one down there, just we have our website as one. Asking people where they're watching from is a great way to get people engaged and commenting on your video. Like I said, our goal here right now is to give you some tips and tricks, but also ask your questions or to answer your questions. So to those of you watching, of course, again, boom, like
Yay!
the lower third says, ask your Switcher Studio questions in the comments so we can answer those. I'm happy to answer as many as possible.
Yes.
You want to talk about another one? This one being what we can do with comments and how you can utilize those.
Yeah. So, once you've asked for comments, a lot of times comments will also roll through on their own. It's good to know what to do with them. So, of course, it's good to engage with your audience. When you see a comment come up, answer it live on your stream. A lot of times, if you can, use the person's name. So, say Jane just asked or Stephen has asked. So that way you're really connecting with them. They know they're being heard, but there's other things you can do as well to give more of a visual effect and drive your stream the way you want. So the first is pinning a comment. So what this means is that you're able to, have a comment typed out. It can be something you've done, it can be something a viewer has done, and you can choose to pin that to the top of the comments display. And what that means is that anyone who comes on your stream is going to see that comment first. And this can really help to show your audience what to look for. A lot of times when we're on air, we'll mention different links to our help center for troubleshooting suggestions or how to set something up. So if that's a big topic of the moment, we might pin that comment so that way it's easy for anyone viewing to find at that time. We've seen people pin links to donation pages. We've seen people pin links to their website or to a new video that they've uploaded, just something to drive your audience in a certain spot. You can also choose to pin an audience comment. So if it's the comment you're talking about at that time, or if it's just a really, helpful tip that someone has put in there, you can pin that as well. And again, that helps people to see what's going on. Kind of in the same vein, if you are subscribed to our standard plan or our plus plan, you also have the option to display your comments on the screen. There are some restrictions right now. This is a Facebook exclusive feature, and it is for if you're streaming to timelines and to pages. So it will not work in groups. Just so you guys know, with Switcher Studio and with other streaming services, if you are streaming to a group on Facebook, there are several restrictions. It's for Facebook's privacy. So you won't see, for instance, the names of commenters. It will say Facebook user. You can't display those comments on the screen. So that is something we have in our documentation as well as a reminder. But for displaying comments on the screen, if you're streaming to Facebook and you're using your timeline or you're using your page as your source, you can actually select a comment within Switcher Studio and pin it. I'll show you guys kind of where to look for that. Since we're not live on this iPad, you won't be able to see the full step in action, but you'll at least know where to go. Uh,
Yeah, just to see the comments.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we're going
it's
to
just
show
the
you guys
comment.
the reactions tab.
I just did it and realized that I don't have that angle up for you. So I'm
No!
here we go.
There we
So
go. Yeah, so when you're in Switcher Studio, you go to the reactions tab. If this was live, it would actually show comments that are coming through. It would show the different reactions you've gotten, like, heart, care, laugh, all of those different reacts. And there would be a star icon next to the comments, and if you tap on one, it lets you pin that comment, which means it's going to actually show on the screen. So you see this with a lot of different shows. You can do this with your own Switcher Studio broadcast where the comment actually appears as like a banner on the screen. It shows who said it. It shows the nature of the comment. So you're really driving focus to that comment at that point. Everyone knows what's going on. It makes the person who wrote it feel great because now their question, their name is up on the screen for everyone to see. And again, that is available for our standard plan and our plus plan. Also, if you're on a trial, you do get the ability on that 14-day trial to test it out. But again, if you do sign up with Essentials, that is one of the comment features that's not available. Of course, with any plan, you'll still be able to physically see comments and answer them that way as well as pin them just to the chat.
hey, you want to know should we do something kind of secret here?
Ooh, I like secrets.
Oh man, shoot! I'm blowing it. I'm giving away my secrets already. Let
No!
me do this. So I want to give you guys an idea of how you could still bring in comments. And this is going to also answer Mike's question in one of them. He's asking about Pro Presenter as an option. Zoom, Mike, that first, I'll answer that one too quickly. You can use Switcher with Zoom. It is a more complicated process that I can't really go through everything right now. But if you go to our website, sorry, our help center, and search for Zoom, it can show up. And maybe I think I saw Matt is in the comments here, and Katie as well. If one of them could possibly find that article and post it in, that would be super helpful. So using ProPresenter is a program that allows you to show maybe lyrics for a church. I know it's used a lot there, or it's similar to PowerPoint, but you can have animated backgrounds to do some cool things with it. So run that on a computer and use SwitcherCast. So we have SwitcherCast for Mac and PC. I'm going to tie that in because sure, we can't show comments directly on screen here, but something we can do is, okay, I do have Switcher Studio open here. So we're going to create a lower third or a multi-view, and I'm going to use the split screen. So if you're using Pro Presenter, like let's say you just want the stuff to be at the bottom, you can come over here, adjust the settings how you need it. So that B will be your comments or lyrics. Make sure to get rid of the center. You don't want to center. So whatever's showing at the bottom of your screen now is what your viewers will see once you have this up for your computer screen. What I want to do though is I'm watching the stream back on my secondary monitor so I can see comments here. And what I've done in the other switcher is create something that looks like this. So that A and the B is kind of vertical up and down. So if I select that and choose my camera angle and that computer screen, I have to come over. I'm just displaying up here that's my computer screen. So these are the live comments as they come in. It's not as simple as just pushing the button and have them display. But if you are going live to a group and you want people to see that, here's a way you could do that.
Magic.
I always tell people, let us know what you're trying to do because there's probably a way to do it with Switcher.
Yeah, that's something I usually tell people too. Like, if you think of something and you're like, there's not a way to do this, just shoot us an email. Worst case scenario, there's not currently a way, but it's something that's going to get the wheels in our heads turning. But a lot of times we can give you a workaround to do what you need to do. So never be afraid to ask us, is there a way to do X, Y, or Z?
Yeah. I think we have a couple more tips, and we're Matt's putting gifts into the comments. You know what? Let's slip ahead. For those of you who are just watching here, Matt's one of our new team members. One of the other ways I want to say you can engage with your community is bring them in via video chat. So Switcher Studio has video chat. Matt, I don't know if you're ready or in a spot to join us here, but if you are, I'll send you the Switcher video chat link while Angela's explaining it to it, and we'll have you hop in and say, hey. The answer can definitely be no. Don't think you have to do this, but yeah, if you want to, we'll bring Matt in to say hey to everybody.
Yeah, Slack is a hey or a nay, Matt, and we'll go from there.
Or comment on the video.
Yeah. But yeah, as Dan mentioned, so video chat is, it's one of our newer features, but also one of our more beloved features. It's actually what we're using right now to go live. And what it is, it's a way to bring in remote guests to use for an interview type setting. So a lot of people will write in and they say, especially now with a lot of people working remote, I am located in this area. but I need to do a stream with someone in this area. And that's what video chat is for. As long as you have an internet connection and they have an internet connection, you're able to send them a link. They click on the link and they're able to be brought in as a guest. And most devices and browsers can be used. If you search for video chat in our help center, it'll say what's compatible and what is not. So there are some browsers that will not work for some devices, but we'll let you know which ones will. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in luck. But if your person has trouble coming in, they're probably just on the wrong device or the wrong browser. But of course, you don't have to be on the same network. You don't have to be in the same country. We have people doing this, across the world with people to bring in. And this is a feature that if you're on the Essentials plan, you can bring in one guest. So what Dan and I are doing right now is something you can do on Essentials. And you have, I think it's 120 hours worth of video chat per month that you can do, and that automatically renews. If you're on the standard plan, you can have 2 simultaneous guests and unlimited video chat. And if you're on our Plus plan, which is our enterprise plan, you can have 4 guests at a time along with you and unlimited video chat. And the fun thing is, a lot of people ask, can we switch out? The answer is yes. So how right now it's Dan and I. Let's say if you're on Essentials, let's say I leave, you can send that link to someone else and bring them in too. So you can tag people in one at a time. Same for standard. If you have 2 guests, you can tag someone else in. And oh my God, we have a Matt. Look how easy that was.
Is Matt here?
Matt is here.
Hear me?
We can. Hold on, everybody.
Oh, okay, I was looping everywhere. I had to throw a hat on. My hair was going crazy. I wasn't ready to be live.
I know. I kind of feel bad just putting you on the spot, but
okay.
Everyone, this is Matt.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's good to be here. I put the gifts in the comments and other things.
Yeah. So easy as that. Just send someone a link and they can join your.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Join
Except
your.
I had to turn
join
my
your
cameras
call.
on and stuff. But beyond that, it was super easy. I was ready to go mostly.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. And of course, you can rotate through. So you can do a 3-up like this. You could bring in another source, like how we've had the iPad going. You can
Let's
switch
do
in and
that.
out. So only 1 or 2 or 3 of us is up. There we go. We've got the 4-up. So this is how easy it is to bring in a guest from literally everywhere. Send them the link. They're able to join your stream. But yes, everyone, we were giving him an introduction before. Now you can see him. This is Matt. He's one of the newest members of the support team. He's been very active in our one-on-one group, which we're live in right now, as well as our enthusiast group. So
Yeah.
welcome,
if you have
Matt.
any questions, you can ask me. I'm still learning a ton about Switcher Studios, but I'd love to try. So I'm the community manager. I don't know if you said that of both the groups.
I don't think we did say that, but yeah. So he's going to be helping out a lot in these groups. He's going to be a great resource. He's going to make these groups even better to be a part of. So we're really excited for what Matt's going to do, and happy to have you join in here and say hey to everyone, so people can put a. I guess they probably see your face when your profile picture, but we get to put a voice to the face or a voice to the name.
Well, and I'm like a cartoon drawing on my profile picture, so it's
Okay.
pretty much the same thing, like long beard, face guy.
Yeah. Well, Matt, you can stay on, hang out with us if you'd like. You don't have to if you don't want to, but this is great.
Yeah, completely up to you.
Oh, I don't care. You all are doing some great stuff. I can keep chatting in the comments. That's kind of my
Sure.
That's my
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do now. Switch over to the comments here, and I'm gonna put this up here again to make sure you all ask your Switcher Studio questions in the comments. I have seen a few of those come through that we can hopefully get to and answer. So I'm gonna put up a two up of Angela and I, Matt, but feel free to hang out or hop off. Either way is fine.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, just going up. We answered Mike's question from talking about Zoom and Pro Presenter. Both those are possible. SwitcherCast is what you're gonna want. Matt, I see did put those in the comments here. I saw we're asking, do we speak French? Angela, you speak a little bit, right?
Yeah, I speak a tiny bit. What I always like to let people know is if you have a question and English is not your native language, don't be afraid, whether it's in the comments on Facebook or if you're writing in to support switcherstudio.com, to write in your native language, to write in however you feel comfortable. We have a lot of translation software where, 99% of the time we can converse with you in your language. So that's French, Spanish, we have Chinese, we have Thai, we have German, we have so much that we see on a daily basis. So if you are more comfortable speaking in French than English, and you have a question, feel free to ask us. We'll answer back in French for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, sorry we don't. I wish we were more, or I was more multilingual. I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but not much. I can understand a little bit, but we do have, for all you people out there who English isn't the first language, there's other communities around. I know there's a Switcher Studio enthusiast in Spanish, which is great, a community and a lot of engagement there. Yeah, or as Angela said, write in with what's comfortable with you, and we'll make it work. Um, I see Elton was asking if there's any chance that one day we will be able to use our laptops as the switcher. So our goal with Switcher Studio is to make it as portable and easy as possible. That is a great question, and one we see come up right now. Our goal is to keep it on the iPads and iPhones, just to make it be as portable and mobile as possible, without having to have all the extra stuff. As things go forward, there's like the possibility of apps running on new versions of Mac OS. I don't believe that's going to be the case for Switcher Studio. So yes, is a great idea and is an interesting idea, but not something we're exploring right now. And then yeah, Switcher can be used on a PC in the sense, this was Matt again saying, I didn't know Switcher can be used with PC. Switcher Studio, the main app, cannot be run, but we do have Switcher Cast. And I see, yeah, Matt, thank you for putting that in there. Is just saying, is showing you how you can do that. So it is an extra application. You download it and you run it on your computer, your PC, or your Mac. And we're able to connect and yeah, share that screen. So whatever's happening on there, it's a great way to do things like ProPresenter or like Google Slides, things like that. If you're running a presentation, I've seen that happen a whole lot of times. So yeah. What else do we have? I guess there's one other thing we didn't mention on engaging, and that's bringing up polls.
Yeah, polls.
Which is another thing you can do. Let me see if this is gonna go for it. I'm gonna publish a poll here. So you guys should be seeing now it should come up, I hope. Maybe not. I'm doing it from the switcher, from my computer, not from Switcher Studio, so it might be a little weird, but you can add polls. These are great ways to ask questions to your viewers. Right now I have one. Yeah, you should see it popping up here. What device do you use as the main switcher? Is it an iPhone or iPad? So you can vote on that. It's just an interesting way to, it gives your audience something to do while you're live. If you're watching this on a mobile phone, you'll see at the bottom next to where it says comment, there's like a little circle that's purple. That's your poll icon, and you can tap on that and bring it up. And that's how you would vote on that, because since on a screen it's a lot smaller, it won't show up all the it would take up too much of the screen to be up the whole time. But since we're on the since we're down here on the or I'm watching on a computer, I can see it full screen, and that's what you'll see if you are on a computer. So yeah, and once you're done, you can tap on the show results, and it's going to show people I see we had 100% of people choosing iPad for this one, which is very interesting to me. That's what I prefer. I like to use the iPad for my main productions. However, sometimes you're out there on the run and you want to just be holding the phone and do everything with your thumb. So I think both of them are great options. This is something you can do in Switcher Studio. Again, I can't show them up here, but I can show you the tab it is down here. It's this this bar one. We'll highlight, and you'll see it highlight up there. And once you're live, you'll be able to load the polls that you've created beforehand, or create them here and be ready to go. So that's just a quick little close results. So yeah, that's polling for you.
I always see polling go well. Like, I'm a poll person, I'm a visual person. So it's just a nice way to quickly kind of catalog everything going on in your audience and then be able to show it off. You know, comments are wonderful, responding to comments are wonderful, but for a quick kind of view on a certain topic, polls, in my opinion, are the way to go. And that way, instead of having to count it all manually afterwards, you can just say, and here's the results, and everyone can see them. It works beautifully. And, you know, we've already had a question about other languages. That's a great way, if you are bringing in viewers from other countries, to condense things in a visual source where there's less, you know, text to read.
So those are the questions that we have in the comments I'm seeing here. And I'm looking at the clock, and we're at 10:35. That's about how long we've been going live. So yeah, I think that's a great stopping point. If you're watching this after the fact, or maybe watching the upload on YouTube, first of all, hello everybody out there who might be watching this after the fact on YouTube. You can join us in the Facebook user group. It's, if you search Switcher Studio 101 or Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, that's where you can find us. Yeah, we'll be there. Thank you to those of you who joined for asking questions. Thank you for not just Angela this time, but Matt as well, who's still with us down there. Thank you for joining us.
Hanging out.
And, and for helping in the comments. It's always nice to see that. So yeah, I guess for Matt and Angela, I'm going to say thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another one of these live shows.
Bye.
See you guys.